The clock struck midnight in Flagstaff, Arizona, as Rachel's trembling hands tore open the envelope postmarked from beyond the grave. Her husband's handwriting leaped off the page. "Run tonight. Take the kids. Trust no one. Coconino Forest. Shelter awaits. I love you." 3 days after Michael's funeral, shadows of unfamiliar cars prowled her street, tires crunching gravel like hungry wolves. Heart pounding, she gathered Liam, Haley, and Jacob into the night, pine-scented air, thick with dread. Headlights pierced the forest behind them. Voices echoed, "Rachel, we know you're there." Survival or slaughter, who was hunting them? Rain-slicked streets gleamed under Flagstaff's sodium lamps 3 days after Michael's casket lowered into Arizona soil. Rachel Dawson, 40, stood in her cozy kitchen, the scent of cooling apple pie lingering from a hollow grief ritual. Her resilient frame, honed by years of nursing night shifts, now sagged under widowhood's weight. Liam, her lanky 15-year-old, slumped at the table, eyes red from unspoken fury. Haley, 12, clutched a stuffed bear, whispering comforts to 8-year-old Jacob, whose whimpers pierced the heavy silence like shards of glass. The doorbell shattered the fragile peace. A plain envelope, no return address, slipped through the slot. Rachel's fingers, calloused from Michael's hand tools, ripped it open. Michael's bold script filled the page, ink fresh as if penned yesterday. "Rachel, my love, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But danger isn't. Charles Bennett's men are closing in. They've watched us for months. Tonight, pack light. Take Liam, Haley, Jacob. Drive north on Route 89, then east into Coconino National Forest. Follow the 3 notches on the red rock at mile marker 17. Trust the signs I carved, rock piles, blazed trees. Find the shelter. Destroy this letter. Protect our babies. I built this for you. Forever yours, Michael." Her pulse thundered in her ears. Michael, her rock. The man who'd fixed leaky roofs and chased nightmares, dead from a freak accident on a construction site. But this? Urgent warnings from the grave? Outside, a black SUV idled across the street, headlights dimmed, engine humming like a predator's growl. Earlier that day, another had cruised by slowly, tinted windows hiding watchful eyes. Coincidence? Her gut screamed no. Injustice burned hot. Michael gone. Now this phantom threat shattering their world. Rachel crumpled the letter, flames devouring it in the sink as acrid smoke curled upward. "Kids," she whispered, voice steady despite the quake inside. "We're going on a family adventure. Pack warm clothes, snacks, flashlights. No questions. Mommy's orders." Liam's brow furrowed, sensing the lie in her forced smile. Haley nodded, wide-eyed, while Jacob hugged her leg, tiny fingers digging in. Dusk bled into night, ponderosa pines whispering secrets as they piled into the old Subaru, tires crunching gravel. Flagstaff's lights faded rearward, swallowed by the Coconino's vast embrace, dense forests cloaking jagged canyons, moonlit ridges sharp as accusations. Rachel's knuckles whitened on the wheel, every shadow a suspect. At mile marker 17, she killed the engine. Out. Quiet now. Flashlight beam caught 3 deliberate notches on crimson rock, glistening with dew. Heart slamming, she led them into the underbrush, branches snagging clothes like desperate claws. The trail twisted upward, earthy dampness filling lungs, pine needles muffling footsteps. Liam carried Jacob piggyback, the boy's cheek pressed to his brother's neck, breath ragged. Haley gripped Rachel's hand, palm slick with fear sweat. Michael's clues appeared like ghosts. A cairn of balanced stones, bark peeled to reveal an arrow etched deep. Tension coiled tighter. Had he foreseen this hell? Why hadn't he told her? 2 hours in, exhaustion clawed at muscles, cold seeping through jackets. A final blaze on an ancient oak pointed to a cleft in basalt cliffside. Rachel pushed aside thorny manzanita, revealing a rusted grate camouflaged by moss. It yielded with a groan, cool cavern air rushing out like a held breath. They tumbled inside, hearts racing, as Rachel dragged boulders to seal the entrance. Safe, for now. Flashlights danced over rough-hewn walls, the faint drip of groundwater echoing. But peace shattered, faint at first, then insistent. lantern beams slicing through forest gloom behind them. Harsh voices carried on wind. "Rachel Dawson! We see your tracks! Come out, it's over!" Boots crunched foliage, closing fast. Who were they? Bennett's shadows. Michael's letter burned in memory. Not safe yet. Rachel herded the children deeper into shadow, pulse a war drum. The hunters were here. Hey, amazing viewers. If this gripping tale has you on the edge of your seat, hit that subscribe button and join our journey to 1,000 subscribers. We'll keep delivering heart-pounding stories like Rachel's fight for survival. Your support means we can bring more emotional adventures. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. But wait, those voices grew louder, circling the grate. Rachel's mind raced. How close? What next? As metallic scrapes tested the entrance, a chilling realization hit. Michael's shelter held more secrets, and time was bleeding out. Deep within the Coconino National Forest's shadowed heart, Rachel pressed her family against the damp cavern wall, the air thick with mineral tang and fear's metallic bite. Lantern beams clawed at cracks in the sealed grate outside, voices slicing the night like knives. "Dawson, we know you're in there. Bennett wants a word." Boots thudded rhythmically, testing stone. Liam's arms trembled around Haley and Jacob, the 8-year-old's whimpers muffled against his sister's shoulder. Rachel's mind whirled. Michael's letter promised safety here, but hunters closed in, their flashlight stabs painting jagged ghosts on rock. Sweat beaded her brow despite the chill, heart hammering as she scanned the gloom. A faint glint caught her eye, a rusted lever half buried in earth floor, disguised as root. With a silent prayer, she yanked it. Stone ground open beneath them, revealing a narrow chute dropping into blackness. "Down now," she hissed, lowering Jacob first, his tiny sneakers scraping mossy sides. Haley followed, stifling a gasp as darkness swallowed her. Liam slid last, then Rachel, pulling the trapdoor shut above. Pitch void enveloped them, only ragged breaths marking life. They tumbled into a larger chamber, flashlights flickering alive to reveal wonders. Concrete reinforced walls stocked with canned goods, water barrels, wool blankets folded neat. A propane lantern hissed to glow, casting golden pools over ham radio, topographic maps pinned to corkboard, and Michael's leather-bound journal on a scarred oak table. Pine-scented drafts whispered from hidden vents, a testament to his foresight. Rachel's fingers traced shelves, years of meticulous prep, jars gleaming like buried treasure. Injustice surged. Why this paranoia? What had Michael hidden from her? Footsteps rumbled overhead, muffled thumps vibrating stone. Then, a voice from legend. "Down here, ma'am! Quick like!" An elderly man emerged from side tunnel, lantern swinging. Mr. Coleman, 72, wiry frame taut under flannel shirt, silver hair wild, eyes sharp as canyon hawks. "Michael hired me 5 years back. Built this bunker with my own hands. Off-grid power, air filters, escape routes. Said family first always." His gravelly tone carried weight of oaths sworn in secret. Rachel tensed, but his nod steadied her. "Kids, rest easy. Grub's hot." Coleman ladled stew, rich beef aroma curling steam, as they huddled. Jacob slurped gratefully, color returning to pale cheeks. Haley eyed maps warily, tracing ridges matching their flight. Liam paced, fists clenched. Rachel cracked Michael's journal, pages yellowed but script urgent. "Bennett's reach grows. He owns judges, sheriffs in Flagstaff. I took something he can't lose. A ledger proving bribes, land grabs poisoning canyons, hid it safe. Rachel, if I'm gone, protect our blood. This shelter's your fortress." Pages chronicled Michael's torment. Anonymous threats scrawled on truck windows, slashed tires at job sites, shadows trailing family hikes. Dramatic weight crushed her. Michael, her gentle builder of birdhouses and bedtime forts, entangled in a web of corruption. Charles Bennett, the region's iron-fisted magnate, whispered as untouchable, resorts scarring sacred lands, workers vanishing into night. Michael's notes detailed pressure mounting, Bennett demanding silence on falsified permits, toxic runoff killing deer herds. "He'll come for us," Michael wrote. "I carved paths only you know. Coleman guards the rest." Sensory details flooded Rachel. phantom gravel crunch of surveillance cars, children's laughter now laced with peril. Coleman refilled bowls, sharing sparse words. Michael tested me yearly, drills at dawn, said you come fierce as a mama grizzly. His weathered hands steadied hers. Tension eased fractionally, blankets warming chilled bones. Liam pored over radio frequencies, Haley sketched escape routes, Jacob dozed clutching Bear. Rachel read on, suspense building with each entry. Bennett's men roughed Michael weeks before the accident, ladder sabotage veiled as mishap. Injustice boiled, her husband's death no fluke, but murder cloaked in routine. Night deepened, forest symphony filtering vents, owl hoots, wind-rushed pines. Coleman monitored radio static, nodding at silence. They'll circle, then scatter, bunkers ghost to 'em. Rachel exhaled, resilient core igniting. For her cubs, she'd endure. Michael's love anchored pages, sketches of family picnics, promises etched deep. But peace fractured. Above, deliberate footsteps crunched, not circling, approaching. Gravel shifted precise, like practiced hunters zeroing in. Coleman's face hardened. Not random. They found the great. Rachel froze, journal slipping. Voices again, closer, probing entrance. Check the back trail, Coleman's old haunt. Panic rippled. How? Betrayal? Or Michael's signs misread? Coleman grabbed shotgun from rack, eyes steel. Deeper tunnels if needed. But thuds grew insistent, flashlight beams probing seams. The shelter, their bastion, trembled under assault. Footsteps echoed like thunderclaps above the bunker, each crunch amplifying dread in the Coconino's subterranean hush. Rachel clutched Michael's journal, its leather edges biting palms slick with sweat, as Mr. Coleman's lantern cast flickering shadows on reinforced walls. The air grew heavy, laced with the sharp tang of ozone from the ham radio's static hum. Liam's jaw set firm, shielding Haley and Jacob behind him, while the 8-year-old's wide eyes darted like trapped fawns. They're right on us, Coleman growled, shotgun leveled at the sealed grate. Vibrations rattled cans on shelves, intruders no longer ghosts but predators at the gate. Rachel's mind raced through Michael's warnings, layered defenses, no single point of failure. Her gaze locked on Coleman's boot, nudging a floor seam disguised as cracked concrete. The tunnel, he rasped, wrenching a hidden latch. A slab groaned upward, exhaling musty earth scent from a black moor dropping steeply into unknown depths. Go. I'll hold 'em. Michael's orders. Family first. Tension knotted her gut. This grizzled guardian who'd forged their sanctuary now played rear guard alone. Injustice flared. Why must good souls sacrifice while monsters prowled free? No time for debate. Rachel scooped Jacob, his small body trembling against her chest, heartbeat syncing with hers in frantic rhythm. Liam, Haley, flashlights low, single file, hold hands. Haley nodded, braids swinging, gripping her brother's sleeve. Liam shouldered their packs, resilient teen fire in his eyes mirroring Rachel's own. One by one they descended the chute, slick clay walls scraping knees, darkness pressing like a vice. Jacob whimpered, "Mommy, it's scary," his voice muffled echo. "Shh, brave boy, we're flying to safety," she lied softly, pine root tendrils brushing faces like spectral fingers. Coleman sealed the hatch above with a final thud, plunging them into void. Crawling blind, breaths ragged in narrow confines, they inched forward. Minutes stretched eternal, muscles burning, claustrophobia clawing sanity. Then, chaos erupted behind, furniture splintering, doors slamming, guttural shouts piercing stone. "Where's the old man? Find the kids!" Muffled bangs, fists, worse. Rachel's blood iced, Coleman's gravelly defiance cut through. "You ain't getting past me, Bennett's dogs." A shotgun blast roared, then scuffle, pained grunt. Haley stifled a sob, tears hot on Rachel's neck. Suspense coiled unbearable. Had their protector fallen? The tunnel spat them into moon-dappled freedom beyond the ridge, a shallow riacho gurgling silver under stars. Cold water shocked bare feet as they waded upstream, current erasing boot prints in silty bed. Coconino's night symphony enveloped, coyote yips, wind sighing through dense ponderosas, canyon walls looming cinematic silhouettes. Exhaustion gnawed, but Rachel pushed on, resilient widow forging path for her cubs. Dawn's first blush painted ridges gold when a weathered cedar cabin materialized, camouflaged amid manzanita thicket, chimney cold, door ajar like welcoming arms. Inside, Michael's touch everywhere, pantry bursting with dried fruits, jerky, energy bars wafting savory promise, wool quilts folded on bunks, propane stove primed, medical kit stocked. A fresh envelope on table, Michael's script. If you made it here, my love, you're stronger than you know. Rest, regroup. The true fight awaits. Trust Walker if shadows close. Burn this. Rachel's throat tightened, sensory flood of his cologne ghosting paper, injustice raw. Her builder, her heart, architect of salvation from grave. Kids collapsed gratefully, Jacob devouring jerky with sticky-fingered joy, Haley sketching tunnel horrors in notebook, Liam scouting windows. Rachel inventoried. Topographic maps charting deeper forest veins, cash bundles crisp in waterproof pouch, survival knives gleaming. Then, her breath caught. Beneath floorboard, pried loose with trembling fingers, lay a locked metal box, compact revolver nestled beside, cylinder full, grip cold steel promising grim resolve. No note, just Michael's foresight etched in engravings, family silhouettes on barrel. Emotion crashed, love's legacy now lethal tool. Had he foreseen her wielding it? Dramatic weight pressed, Bennett's empire of fear versus one mother's fury. They'd evaded capture, but echoes of Coleman's struggle haunted. Was he alive? Children safe for hours. Rachel chambered around, click echoing defiance. But as sunlight pierced windows, a distant engine growl rumbled canyon, pursuers regrouping. Hey, incredible viewers, this suspense is just heating up. Smash that subscribe button to help us hit 1,000 subscribers. Your support unlocks more edge-of-your-seat stories like Rachel's desperate fight. Turn on notifications and join the family. Let's keep the thrills coming. Yet the revolver's weight in her palm whispered darker choices ahead. What price victory? Sunlight slanted through the cabin's grimy windows like accusatory fingers, gilding the revolver's deadly gleam in Rachel's palm. The metal bit cold into her skin, a grim talisman from Michael's unseen hand, while distant engine rumbles faded into Coconino's vast whisper. Exhaustion etched deep lines on her face, but maternal fire burned brighter. Liam sharpening knives, Haley rationing jerky for Jacob's trembling hands. The air hung heavy with pine sap and gun oil, sensory anchors in chaos. Rachel pried open the letter from the table, heart pounding, as Michael's script unfolded secrets sharper than any blade. My dearest Rachel, it began, ink steady despite doom's shadow. Before our life in Flagstaff, I wasn't the man you married. Born under another name, I fled a past tangled in shadows, debts, mistakes, a life rebuilt from ash. Bennett found me years ago, twisting arms for silence on his dirty deals. But when I met you, I vowed truth. This revolver, for the day words fail. The metal box in the floor holds keys. Deliver to Walker if I fall. Forgive me, love. Our babies are my redemption. Pages trembled. Emotion clawed her throat. Injustice raw, her rock a stranger forged in fire. Rivera Volta struck like canyon lightning. Michael, birdhouse builder and bedtime storyteller, harbored ghosts. Had their love been built on half-truths? Suspense coiled as shouts pierced the morning, rustling brush, boots snapping twigs. The cabin door shuddered under heavy fists. Rachel herded kids to back room, revolver raised, pulse a war drum. But voices shifted, pained wheeze, familiar gravel. Ma'am, it's Coleman, let me in. Door cracked, revealing the guardian slumped against frame. Flannel shredded, blood-crusting temple, arm clutched tight. He collapsed inside, breath ragged, face ashen under silver stubble. Bennett's dogs tore through the bunker like wolves. Took maps, radio, nearly me too. But I slipped the tunnel, came tracking. His eyes, hawk-sharp despite pain, locked on Rachel. Michael's box, they're after the registry. Ledger of Bennett's bribes, judges paid, lands poisoned with runoff killing elk herds, workers vanished. Michael pulled it years back, hid copies. Bennett's empire crumbles without it. Injustice surged, hot fury. Untouchable tycoon poisoning sacred canyons for profit. Michael's death no accident, but silenced witness. Rachel bandaged Coleman's wounds with steady nurse's hands, antiseptic sting filling air, while kids watched wide-eyed. Jacob whimpered. Haley stroked his hair. Liam's fists balled. Dramatic tension mounted. Bennett's reach infinite. Sheriff's bought. Shadows everywhere. "Can't stay," Coleman rasped, swigging water. "He'll burn this place. You go. Recover the box from bunker. I'll draw him off." Rachel's gut twisted. Another sacrifice? No. Resilient core ignited. "We end this. I go alone. Protect my babies." She loaded revolver, cash, and maps stuffed in pack, kissing each forehead, salty tears mingling. Dusk cloaked her return trek, moon-carving silver paths through dense forest. Canyons yawned black voids, wind moaning like lost souls. Stealth carried her to bunker's shattered grate, splintered furniture strewn, blood smears on walls screaming violence. Heart slamming, she navigated debris, flashlight beam dancing over Michael's journal pages torn and trampled. Indignation boiled, desecration of their sanctuary. Floor safe pried open by force, but box gone. No. Hidden panel behind, untouched. Trembling fingers claimed the dented metal case, locked tight, weight of justice heavy. Victory soured. Footsteps crunched deliberate outside, not wind, not deer. Torchlight flooded entrance, silhouettes hulking. Charles Bennett himself, 59, broad-shouldered in tailored coat, face carved granite under fedora, flanked by two stone-faced bruisers gripping rifles. His voice slithered, silk over venom. "Rachel Dawson, knew you'd return for it. Hand over the registry. Kids live, you walk." Cold eyes appraised her like chattel, canyon chill amplifying menace. Revolver trembled in her grip, but numbers crushed hope. Bennett's smile twisted cruel, Empire's king, her family's doom. Trapped, Rachel's mind whirled. Surrender or slaughter? Bennett stepped closer, shadows merging, tension electric as storm clouds. What price for her cubs? Torchlight clawed the bunker's shattered gloom, pinning Rachel like a moth against blood-smeared walls, the metal box's weight dragging at her side like chains of fate. Charles Bennett loomed, his tailored coat incongruous amid splintered shelves, granite face twisted in predatory triumph. Flanked by bruisers whose rifles gleamed oily under lantern flicker, he stepped forward, cologne clashing with the metallic tang of violence. "The registry, Mrs. Dawson. Now." His voice dripped silk venom, canyon echoes amplifying cruelty. Rachel's revolver hand shook, but eyes blazed defiance, mother's fury against Empire's shadow. Bennett's laugh scraped low, devoid of mirth. "Stubborn, like Michael. He thought stealing my ledger would topple me. Bribes to judges, poisoned lands for resorts, vanished workers buried in canyons." He gestured lazily, bruisers advancing. Rivera Volta crashed, not just corruption, but graves unmarked in Coconino's depths. Injustice ignited Rachel's core. Michael silenced for truth, her world poisoned for profit. She lunged for cover behind toppled table, but a bruiser seized her wrist, revolver clattering free. Box wrenched away, Bennett's fingers drumming steel like a conqueror. Then the proposal shattering souls. "Your boy Liam, girls Haley and Jacob? Mine now, Coleman too, broken but breathing." He tossed photos. Duct-taped kids wide-eyed in a dim van. Jacob's tear-streaked face piercing Rachel's heart like barbed wire. 24 hours. Deliver the full registry. Original from Michael's old hideout, or they vanish like the others. Sensory horror flooded. Imagined whimpers, Haley's braids matted, Liam's fists bound. Emotion clawed raw. No mother endures this calculus. Bennett leaned close, breath hot. Run again. They die slow. Bruisers dragged her outside, dumping her bruised in moonlit dirt, box clutched tight. Tires spat gravel as they vanished into night. Rachel staggered to the cabin, bruises throbbing under star-pricked sky, pine wind carrying phantom cries. Coleman, bandaged and grim, confirmed the horror. "Snatched him from here hours ago. I fought." Worthless. His eyes hollowed by failure. Rachel's resilient shell cracked, sobs racking as she clutched photos. Injustice volcanic. Bennett's untouchable web snaring innocence. Michael's letter echoed, "If shadows close, find Walker in Albuquerque. My brother, U.S. Marshal. Trust him. No choice." Dawn broke bloody as she loaded Subaru, revolver reclaimed, Coleman waving farewell. "Bring 'em home, ma'am." Route 66 blurred under tires, Arizona mesas yielding to New Mexico's stark flats, dust devils dancing like mocking spirits. Albuquerque's sprawl swallowed her by noon, tension coiling with every rearview shadow. Michael's clues led to a nondescript diner, neon flickering "Eat." Inside, Agent Walker waited, 44. Michael's mirror in jawline and eyes, badge glinting under polyester suit. "Rachel," he murmured, pulling her into shadowed booth, coffee steam curling acrid comfort. Suspense hung thick. Family man or phantom from Michael's past. Walker confirmed shadows. Michael reinvented himself after bad choices, debts, runs for rough crowds. I pulled him out, gave new identity, met you, changed clean, built family to atone. His voice cracked, emotion raw. Bennett, cancer. Ledger proves empire. Bribes rotting Flagstaff, toxins killing herds, bodies in unmarked pits. Rachel slid photos across, voice steel through tears. "He has my babies. Demands registry." Walker's fist clenched badge. "Operation launches at dusk. SWAT on kids van raid Bennett's outpost. But registry's key, irrefutable proof. Where's the original?" Rachel's mind whirled Michael's notes. "Old clinic, edge of town, surgical box under floor." Walker nodded, mapping coordinates. "I lead Resgate. You retrieve, backup shadows you." Tension peaked, alliance forged in shared blood and grief. As they parted, Walker's grip steadied. Michael died proud, for them. Rachel drove into dusk, city's glow fading to abandoned fringes. The clinic loomed derelict, chain link sagging, windows shattered like broken promises, weeds clawing concrete. Heart slamming, she slipped through fence, air thick with mildew and forgotten bleach. Door creaked cinematic surrender, flashlight-piercing dust motes dancing like lost souls, exam rooms gutted, gurneys rusting, shadows pooling ominous. Floorboards pried under X-ray machine revealed hollow, surgical crate, dust-shrouded. But as fingers brushed lid, footsteps echoed hall, deliberate, closing. Friend or foe? Lock clicked open, papers rustling, promise of justice. Torchlight flooded doorway, silhouette hulking. Walker's raid underway, or Bennett's trap snapping shut? Dust motes swirled in the abandoned clinic's beam like frantic spirits, as Rachel's fingers pried the surgical crate open, heart thundering against ribs. Faded papers spilled out, the registry, yellowed ledger crammed with Bennett's sins. Bribe dates to crooked judges, toxic dump logs, poisoning Coconino aquifers, worker names crossed out like erased lives. Beside it, Michael's final letter, envelope sealed with their wedding date. Sensory rush hit, faint ink whiff of his aftershave, paper crisp under trembling touch. Footsteps halted at threshold, not bruises, but Walker's urgent whisper. "Rachel, got it." SWAT's rolling. "Move." Agent Walker materialized from shadows, radio crackling marshal codes, face-etched grim determination. Kids pinpointed, van pinned on I-40, Coleman too. Relief flooded, but suspense gripped, Bennett's web vast, one slip fatal. Rachel clutched ledger and letter, bolting for Subaru as sirens wailed distant. Walker's convoy blurred past, black SUVs slicing Albuquerque night, rotors thumping overhead. Rachel tailed, emotion churning, injustice's ledger now weapon, Michael's atonement in her hands. Cut to chaos, Walker's raid exploded on Bennett's remote outpost, floodlights blasting canyon hideout like cinematic dawn. SWAT breached van doors, duct tape ripped free. Liam lunging fists first, Haley shielding Jacob, the 8-year-old's wail piercing night. "Mommy!" Coleman, battered but unbowed, slumped in corner, nodding fierce as marshals hauled him clear. Simultaneous strike hit the cabin. Bennett's men scattered rifles caught mid-celebration, choppers pinning escape. Revolta thundered, Empire's pillars crumbling under floodlight glare. Bennett's lair, a lavish ranch house scarred into red rock, fell next. Tycoon raged in study, ledgers burning in fireplace, but Walker's team burst through, cuffs snapping on wrists thick as canyon ropes. "This ends," Walker growled, slamming Rachel's registry down, irrefutable, millions laundered, lands ravaged, lives stolen. Bennett's granite facade cracked, eyes darting rat-like. Indignation peaked for Rachel, watching via radio feed, untouchable fallen, canyon poisons exposed, vanished workers' families avenged. Michael's death. Ladder accident, traced to sabotage. Manslaughter charges stacked sky-high. Dawn gilded saint. George, Utah's rosy cliffs as Rachel embraced her cubs, Liam's hug bone-crushing. Haley's tears soaking shoulder, Jacob clinging eternal. Coleman, ribs taped, grinned through split lip. Told Michael you'd shine. New life bloomed under martial protection. Modest home nestled in sandstone arms, identities refreshed like spring after storm. No more shadows, Bennett's empire dismantled, trials looming public. Rachel's resilient heart mended, Journey's suffering forged unbreakable. Evening hush wrapped their porch, desert wind sighing sagebrush secrets. Alone, Rachel unfolded Michael's last letter by lamplight, flame dancing warm. "Rachel, my anchor, if this reaches you, no truth. I was lost till you. Past chased me, debts paid in blood for wrong men. Bennett owned me once, but you freed my soul. Built shelters not from fear, but love's fierce guard. Registry ends him. Walker finishes. Live bold for our stars. You're their son. Forever, Michael." Tears traced paths down cheeks, love's echo profound. Sensory close, paper soft against heart, Utah stars vast overhead. She folded it close to chest, resilient widow reborn, mother warrior. Children laughed inside, Jacob's giggles, Haley's stories, Liam's plans. Justice won, suffering superado. Horizon beckoned clean. Hey, phenomenal viewers. What a roller coaster. Rachel's saga ends triumphant, but your support makes more possible. Smash subscribe to hit 1000 and fuel epic tales of survival and heart. Turn notifications on. Next story drops soon. Thank you for riding with us.